Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my office. It's another edition of Perfectly Placed, and this time we'll be chatting about racing on Saturday here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. We've got 10 races, and it's going to be a good card. There's money to be made. There's some very nice horses stepping out as they start their preparation for the Cape Summer Festival. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be one card that I'm hoping to find some value. I really believe there's money to be made. Just having a look, the first race goes off at 12 o'clock. Race number 2 is where the bar pot starts at 12:30. The PA race 3 at 1:05. The pick 6 race 4 at 13:40. The first jackpot, race number 5, your bets need to be on at 2:15. And being a 10 race program, the second jackpot only starts in race number 7, and your bets need to be on at 15:25. All things being equal, the last race will be race 10 at 17:10. I've just spent some time in the jockey index. Great to see Chad Little taking his first 2 rides. I know he's very excited. He's put lots of hard work into this, and great to have him back in the saddle. Catch a Penny, probably his best ride of the afternoon. And we got some travelling jockeys making their way to the Western Cape on Saturday. The likes of Gavin Larena, Chase Majan, a man that's really come well. Wish him all the best. He works very hard, so it's good to have him here in the Western Cape. And I see Sereno Mudli will also be taking a few rides. So good to have these guys doing their travelling, and I'm sure we'll see them quite often over the next couple of weeks and months. All right, I'm going to dive straight into it. Before I do give you the nitty-gritty and what I like, it is a pre-recorded show. I've had a look everywhere. There's no betting available, unfortunately. They've taken a bit of time to price up for this 10-race program, but you'll be able to find it on various platforms. Go and give us a like, give us a follow on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. There's some lovely interviews that you'll be able to find as well leading up into Saturday's program. Okay, race number 1, the Hollywoodbets Kenilworth welcomes you maiden plate. It's over 1,200 meters, the top of the lane. You need to be on at 12 o'clock. It's a good race. I'm just going to start with a horse like number 2, Give Me a Thrill, who must have some sort of a chance. 2 runs to date have been very good. Cabello Matsanyane has been booked to ride for Brett Crawford. 4, Charlie Bucket, the very well-related Charlie Bucket. I called this horse's debut. It was a magnificent debut. He came out running. He was on speed and just showed signs of needing it that last 100 meters. He ran 3rd. I have no doubt that he's going to tighten up quite a bit. Number 4, Charlie Bucket. JP van der Merwe gets the ride for Paddy Crayer. 5, Cork Bay, well, he's going to be my top selection. Corne Offer gets the ride for Andre Nell. He's been gelded. That's going to do him the world of good. His 2 runs to date have been very good. I've spoken to the yard a number of times. They really think a lot of number 5, Cork Bay. And now that he's had the unkindest cut of all, I'm expecting him to take a power of beating when it comes to race number 1. The race doesn't stop there. Even a horse like number 14, El Sonore, must have a big chance. This horse flashed up on the outside rail at Hollywoodbets Durbanville last time out. That was over 1,000 meters. He really caught the eye. I see Gavin Larena now gets the ride for Justin Snaith. If he's taken another step forward back at home, he'll be right there, number 14, El Sonore. It's quite a tricky race. How are we going to make some money to set us up for the exotics? Well, I suggested that we're going to take the swinger with numbers 5 and 14. We move along to race number 2. The second race is where the bar pot starts. Interesting race. It goes off at 12:30. This is the Perfectly Placed maiden plate. It's over 1,400 meters. Some nice horses that line up. A horse like number 3, Marine Merchant. We know that he was scratched last weekend. Aldo Dermeyer gets the ride for Candice Bass Robinson. He's a very smart coltist. He's also very well related. He came from the clouds from a poor draw over 1,600 meters at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. There's no doubt from a good draw he'll be parked up. There should be no hard luck stories, and he'll be right there, number 3, Marine Merchant. Watch him closely. He's a horse that I really like the look of, and he'll go on and win a few races, I'm sure, for the connections. 5, Rich Folks Hoax. He's my top selection. He's a magnificent grey. He's a 3-year-old gelding. Craig Zaki gets the ride for Dean Caname. His last run over 1,400 meters was a cracker behind Major Master. We know that Candice Bass and the team think the world of Major Master, and Rich Folks Hoax made him work that last 100 meters or so. Now that he's had that first run in the Western Cape, I believe from a good draw, he's the horse they're all going to need to beat, number 5, Rich Folks Hoax. You got well-bred horses, number 6, Brigadier Billy. I see the comment in the front of the computer form very positive about this first-timer, the 3-year-old colt trained by Greg Enyon. Corne Offer gets the ride. 8, Land of the Rising Sun comes back from arrest and gelding. Justin Snaith has often told me on a number of occasions that he's a very smart horse. Richard Faree gets the ride for Justin. So watch number 8, Land of the Rising Sun. Now that he's been rested and gelded, that could help him unlock further improvements. Real Stunner, Big jump in form from his first run to the second run. He ran second over 1200 last time out. He steps up in distance, which he should appreciate. If Cabello can get him well settled early on, he'll appreciate the step up to 1400 meters. So 12 Real Stunner undoubtedly got a big chance. And even number 15 Okavango, I know he's drawn in the car park, but that first run was a lovely run. Gavin Larena doing very well at the moment. It's always good to have him in the Western Cape, and Justin Snaith got his yard ticking along beautifully. It's a tricky race. I would suggest that in terms of the buy pot, you're probably going to have to go wide. I've suggested a buy pot play. That's what I've done. I've just had a look at my numbers briefly. I'm spending a bit of money, so put that slide up. We'll go 3 and 5. By 3 and 7, by 2 and 5, by 1 and 3, by 2, 5 and 7, by 1, 2, 7, 9 and 10. So those are my buy pot numbers. We're spending some money. Let's hope that we can catch it a few times and it pays a good few rand on the tote. We go to race number 3, which is the first leg of the place accumulator. The third race goes off at 1:05. This particular race, good to have the likes of Snow Pilot. He won a cracking race beating One Stripe last time out. Good to have Without Question back at the races. He comes back from a small break. Alder Dume gets the ride for Justin Snaith, and there's a few others which we're going to touch on in just a moment. This is the Race K powered by Hollywoodbets. It's a progress plate over 1400 meters. Now that I've given you a teaser as to what is running in this particular race, let's start with number 1, Without Question. He's been rested. I am of the opinion the 1400 meters on the short side. He'll be hitting the line well enough. He's classy. There's no doubt that he's got the class of a rating of 120, but 1400 meters definitely on the short side for him. 3, Snow Pilot, the horse they all need to beat. He likes to go out there. He races aggressively. He loves to gallop. Richard Fourie will do the same thing, I'm sure, on this winter course here at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. He won a great race beating One Stripe last time out, and I am of the opinion that he'll be a much better horse now. It was well documented that he needed the run last time out, and he still put them to the sword. So from a good draw, he'll go out there, and he'll be very hard to beat. Number 3, Snow Pilot. 5, Beyond Ironside. Good run last time out. Yes, he's going to have to take another step forward to be competitive to beat a horse like number 3, Snow Pilot. But I'm sure Johan Janse van Vieren would have been very happy with that horse's first run here in the Western Cape, Beyond Ironside. That was over 1200 meters at Hollywoodbets Durbanville. So he'll go very nicely, I'm sure. Sereno Mutli gets the ride. And then 7, Infrared is interesting. I know on ratings he's got it all to do. But Brett Crawford has always said that this horse has got lots of potential. The day he puts his best run in, he'll be very competitive. And that's exactly what he done last time out. He won a super race over 1600 meters. It was good to see that he brought his homework to the course. If he can keep building and bring a similar performance again to the races, he's a nice horse to include into the places. Number 7, Infrared. My suggested play in race number 3, I've suggested a place accumulator, so it'll go from races 3 to 9. First leg will go 3 and 7, by Banker 2, by 1 and 3, by 2, 5 and 7, by 1, 2, 7, 9 and 10, by 1, 4 and 5, by 2, 3 and 5. I know it's going to cost a bit. The beauty of our exotics here in South Africa is you can take a percentage, hoping that we can double up and treble up a few times and that we catch this PA and it pays a nice sum at the end. We go to race number 4. This is where the big one starts, the pick 6. The 4th race goes off at 13:40. It's the WP Nomads Class 3 over 1400 meters. I'm going to jump straight into the preview. Number 2, Power and the Glory. Richard Fourie gets the ride for Justin Snaith. Now, when you see this horse come into the parade ring and when you watch him move down to the gate, I have no doubt you're going to be rushing off to the nearest teller and having a bet, because he's a magnificent looking colt. I know that Justin thinks the world of him. His gallops leading up into this race have been super impressive, and from a good draw with only 53.5 on his back, he's going to take lots to beat him. I'm very excited. I am extremely excited about number 2, Power and the Glory. I am of the opinion that he will be very hard to beat when it comes to race number 4. There are dangers. 5, Solomon Seal. I've read those comments coming through from Eric Sands, coming back from a small injury. He's at home over 1400 meters. If he doesn't need the run too badly, he'll be staying on beautifully. Dennis Schwarz gets the ride. And after those, a horse at a decent price, number 12, Big Unit. Cabello Matsanyane gets the ride for Brett Crawford. This horse had hard luck stories over 1400 meters last time. He was balked for a run. He had to switch to the inside rail, and once he got put into clear air, he really turned it on nicely. So 12, Big Unit for me. that could be some value for the swingers and for the trifectas and the quartets. I'm not saying he can win it. He's going to battle to win it from that sort of a draw, but he could certainly finish amongst the places. Right, what are we doing? How are we making money when it comes to race number 4? It's well documented that I think the world of him. If you can get a half decent price, I suggest a good bet on the nose, and his name is Power and the Glory. We go to race number 5, the 5th race on the card. Goes off at 2:15. It's the Infinity Insurance KB Stakes over 1,800 meters. Again, it's a very good race. Number 1, Join the Dots. Cabello Mazzaniani gets the ride for Brett Crawford from a good draw. 54 on his back. I know he's gone up in the ratings, but his last 2 wins have been super impressive. Remember this horse when he won his maiden. Brett Crawford spoke very highly of this 4-year-old bay gelding. So now that he's got his confidence back from a good draw, he'll have every chance to complete that hat-trick. So 1, Join the Dots must go into your bets. Number 3, Song to the Moon. We talk about good-looking horses. Here's one. 3, Song to the Moon. Richard Fourie gets the ride for Justin Snaith. He won a great race last time out. It was a top ride from Richard Fourie. I like his chances. I am of the opinion that he'll love the step up to 1,800 meters. He's a horse that takes a bit of time to unwind into that big profile. So now that he goes 1,800 meters, he'll be right there from a good draw. And then one more horse I do want to chat about is number 6, Gimme More Time, who's as honest as the day is long. Craig Zaki gets the ride for Justin Snaith. But having a look at it, the winner for me will come from either Join the Dots or Song to the Moon. I'm not sure how we're going to make money. I haven't had a look at the betting, unfortunately, so I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to take the swinger with numbers 1 and 3. Race number 6, 1450 for the Bright Insurance Cape C Stakes. Not a race that I'm going to suggest you rush off and put the rent money at all. I like number 5, Groove Jet. He's got to have an undeniable chance. JP van der Merwe knows him very well. He gets the ride for Justin Snaith. After he broke his maiden, he's been very consistent. He ran 2nd last time and he came from the clouds. It was a good run. In fact, I thought he had the race sewn up. Did Groove Jet, but he'll be hitting the line well enough. This is a good race to see him go bang again. There's others that I want to chat about. 7, To the Moon and Back, a horse that's had a few hard luck stories through his career. He's been nice and consistent of late. The apprentice Tucker gets the ride for Des McLachlan. If he can get the right run in transit, he'll be very competitive. 8, Continental Express, Craig Zaki for Dean Kahneman. There's no doubt that he'll be a better horse over this trip. I am of the opinion that 1,600 meters last time at Hollywoodbets Durbanville on the short side for him. So 8, Continental Express, I'm looking for a big run. And then 2, Commander Green. I've left the best for last. There's lots of value to be had about this individual. I've always been a big fan of him as a racehorse. He's a lovely looking 3-year-old bay gelding. Keenan Stain gets the ride for Gareth van Sale. He was never going to be able to turn it on at Hollywoodbets Durbanville last time out. Now that he's got a good draw over this trip, he shouldn't be too far off them when they turn for home. So Commander Green, he could be the value when it comes to race number 6. I wish I had a look at the betting. I wish there was betting available because he is value for me. And when it does come to this particular race, I'd probably rush off. If you're not going to have a few each ways on him, we can go and take a few swingers, 2 and 5. That'll pay a decent sum on the tote. Race number 7. Great race. It's the Grade 3 Cape Mile. It is the start of Jackpot 2. You need to be on at 15.25. Let's chat about a few horses. I have suggested a Jackpot 2, which I'm going to come back to in just a moment. 1, Solar Power, great run over 1,600 meters last time out from a good draw. He needs to be included. Number 2, Rascallion, coming back from a small break. I believe it was injury related. Gavin Larena gets the ride for Vaughan Marshall. He's as tough as nails. At this level, always big respect for number 2, Rascallion. If he doesn't need the run too badly, he'll be right there on the premises. 3, Zapateers, probably one of the best looking horses here in the Western Cape. He's magnificent. Cabello Mazzaniani gets the ride for Brett Crawford. I'm going to say he's been a touch disappointing. The Yard boys thought quite a bit of number 3, Zapatillis, hoping that he can put his best foot forward on Saturday afternoon. Then he will go very close to 6-year-old Bay Gelding. 5, Thluim, reading the comments from Justin Snaith. He's in a good space back at home. He's really doing well. He's a horse that's got plenty of ability. I know he can be a little bit strong in the first part of his race. He's coming back fresh. JP van der Merwe will try and switch him off. He's got a big weight of 62 kilograms, but there's no doubt that he can win a race of this nature and win it quite easily. 6, Montien. I call him the biter. The reason being is because in his box he can give you a good nip on the arm if you're not watching closely, but Pit Boert has done so well with him. Anthony Andrews gets the ride. He ran a cracker over 1,400 meters at Hollywoodbets Durbanville last time out. He's a strong front runner, is number 6 Montien. There's no doubt that he would have tightened up back at home, and I'm expecting him to go very close, number 6 Montien. So include him into the play with 61 on his back off a rating of 120. 7 Sugar Mountain, he's going to be my idea of the winner. He was scratched in one of the lead-up races. The exact race escapes my mind, but there was an issue around number 7 Sugar Mountain. He's been rested for just on 70 days. Candice Bass-Robinson's done an unbelievable job with number 7 Sugar Mountain. Alder Dumeyer knows him very well. Also a good-looking specimen. He'll switch off and he'll be mowing them down one by one. 7 Sugar Mountain, if his prep has gone perfectly back at home, he'll be in the finish. 8, It's Raining William, a strong front runner. He'll make sure the gallop's a good one. Whether or not he's good enough to win a race of this nature, only the race will tell. But he'll go out there and race aggressively, I'm sure. 9, Royal Aussie, Richard Fourie for Justin Snaith. His last run in the Mercury Sprint, the grade 1 over 1,200 meters, was unbelievable. He's a classy sort. If Richard can work his magic from a deep draw, he needs to be one of the horses we respect in a big way, number 9, Royal Aussie. He's got his fan base here in the Western Cape. And then 10, Gimme a Prince. He's had a stop-start career, packed with potential. His comeback run over 1,400 meters at Hollywoodbets Durbanville was superb. He also would have made the necessary improvement back at home, I'm sure. So not an easy race. I've just touched on a few. There's a few others that I've left behind. So let's put up that jackpot 2 slide. We're going to spend some money again. It starts now in race 7, ends in race number 10. We're going field. We're taking no chances. The big F in the first leg. Second leg, we're going 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Third leg, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And the last leg, we're going to bank a Chad Little on Catch a Penny, number 14. The 8th race, we're getting closer and closer to the 10th and final. 4 o'clock, the Taking the Reins Class 5 for fillies and mares over 1,200 meters. Nightmare. That's all I can say when it comes to the 8th race. 1, Royal Lytham, much better run last time out. Alder Dumeyer gets the ride for Adam Marcus. That yard is going along beautifully. Big respect for number 1, Royal Lytham at this division. You got to respect number 2, December Dawn. I know our good friend Chase Liebenberg's got a share in number 2, December Dawn. Anthony Andrews gets the ride. Won a good race last time out. Still improving, still learning the job. I'm sure there's improvement to come from number 2. 4, Lady Loxon. She's very interesting. She gets a further rating drop. Watch her move down to the gates. If she moves down well enough, she could be the horse they all need to beat at a decent price. Cabello Matsanyane gets the ride for Brett Crawford. She likes to be held up and she'll be working a passage late. But the key with her is watch her move down to the start. Of this rating, number 4, Lady Loxton, will be a huge runner. 5, Veronique, Richard Fourie for Greg Enyon. As honest as the day is long, she's done nothing wrong through her career. She's a 6-year-old bay mare. She'll be on the premises again. And then 7, Shippendani. Won a great race last time. The yard have always spoken highly of Shippendani. It was good to see her put her act together last time. Corne Offer gets the ride for Andre Nel. And if she can build on that last performance, she could also be very competitive. So I don't like the look of the race. I'm going to suggest we go and take a few each ways on number 4, Lady Loxton, in hope that she moves down to the gates magnificently. The 9th race, 16:35 is the off time for the penultimate race. It is the CRS Summer Sale. It's a class 4 for fillies and mares. Again, they line up at the top of the straight over 1,200 meters. It's a very good race because there's horses improving. 1, Protect the Dream, has done everything right since breaking that maiden. I must confess, I thought she would battle once she got that maiden out the way, but she's done exceptionally well for the connections. Craig Zaki gets the ride for Justin Snaith. Number 2, Captain's Destiny, Oswald Noach for Vaughan Marshall. It was a great ride from Aussie last time. She too likes to be held up and she comes with a devastating turn of foot late. So 2, Captain's Destiny, on the back of a good win last time. She needs to be respected. 3, I'm So Pretty, JP van der Merwe and Justin Snaith. She's won her last 2 races very impressively. The yard in the post-race interview spoke highly of number 3, I'm So Pretty. All she needs to do is bring that Hollywoodbets Durbanville form to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and she's probably the horse that they all need to beat. 5, Babelicious. My idea of the winner. Alder Dumeyer gets the ride for Candice Bass-Robinson. I know her career has also been a bit stop-start. She comes back from a small break, but she's got tons of potential, this 3-year-old filly. I'm very excited to see her back at the races. I'm of the opinion that she'll love the drop back in trip. She didn't quite get home over 1400 meters last time out, so now racing back up the straight here at HQ. 5 Babelicious for me, a big runner. And one other horse I want to chat about is number 9, All the Boys I've Loved. I'll be hoping for the connections that she runs a big race. I know chatting to them last time out, they were distraught that she got beat, but they did say to me, when she goes back to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth and she races up the straight, you'll see the proper All the Boys I've Loved. So that's a bit of confidence coming through, and I'll be hoping for them that she runs a cracker. Now that I've had my 2 cents worth say, I'm going to go each way. Babelicious. I think we'll get a decent price. I have no doubt the money's going to come for I'm So Pretty, but Babelicious with the right run in transit, she'll go very close to winning. The 10th and final race, the Get Out Stakes, 17:10 is the off time. It's the Hollywoodbets Bright Future Maiden Plate over 1200 meters. It is for the girls. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I like one horse. I think she's the best bet on the card, and that's number 14, Catch a Penny. Great to have Chad Little getting his opportunity for Glenn Cotson. Chad has done so much work in the last couple of weeks and months back at Woodhill Racing. So 14, Catch a Penny, she's going to be the best bet for me on the card. I don't want to know of her getting beaten. We just need to watch her move down to the start, and we need to watch her very closely behind the gates. I called her last time out. She got very worked up behind the gates, and she still managed to run a very good second behind what looks to be a nice filly trained by Brett Crawford. So 14, Catch a Penny, Chad Little, excited to ride her. Form's good, right race, she'll take tons of beating, and that's going to be my win bet and suggested play when it comes to the 10th and final. All right, that's it from our side. Thank you very much for watching this preview. Again, it's just a guide, add, subtracting those exotics. Enjoy it. It's going to be a good race program, and the next couple of weeks and months here in the Western Cape are going to be super exciting. From myself, Brandon, and the rest of the Cape Racing team, we'll chat on the other side. Bye-bye.